Architectural Builder's Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Before she did that, she had Primus locks put in. Probably almost 20 of them, deadbolts and bottom door locks. And so I'm in a situation where, because it's a security lock, I cannot have duplicate sets of keys made unless I can get a hold of the blanks.
Right.
Can you help me with this?
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly help you. I don't know that I can solve the problem, but I can be of help. Unless the key blanks unless the system that you have, the cylinders, the finger pins, and the key blanks are all level 1 and the standard garden variety Primus, there would be no realistic way for you to get key blanks, period. It's a waste of time to try. So, if you've got the garden variety material, I have key blanks in stock, and the best thing to do would be to start with you emailing us a photograph of both sides of the existing key so I can determine visually if this is dead on arrival or if we got to look deeper.
Wow. Okay. I'll take a picture of it, and can I send it to your email?
You can, but just tell me yours and I'll send you one that you can reply to.
Oh, okay. My email is starlighter without the GH. STARLITER 33 at yahoo.com.
All right, sir. I'll send you an email now, and we'll go from there. At the end of the day, you'll be able to keep the existing system in place if we know the broaching on the cylinder plug and you have a locksmith come and remove all the finger pins. So you could demote the system to non-security, which would certainly be less expensive than replacing all of the cylinders.
Okay.
But has the obvious substantial downside. So, there's things to do. We just have to figure out the most elegant way to get you where you need to get to.
Yeah, I have some people coming from Texas that have rented the house, and basically I only have one set of keys for them. The owner doesn't even have a set of keys. And so I'm in this, and to replace the cylinders, they already came out. Cost $135 for a service call. That's fine. But the entire job was about $450. So
and what was going to be done? What was, air quotes, the entire job?
That was to take out 20 Primus cylinders and put in a standard cylinder. Replace them. Yeah. Replace it with a regular lock.
Replace it with a regular lock? Like remove the entire lock or remove just the cylinder?
Remove just the cylinder.
Well, I got to tell you, that sounds wrong. $450 for 20 new Schlage cylinders with the keying? That's not right.
Yeah.
There's no chance
Too
that's
expensive.
accurate. No, it's way off. That job should be far more than that. Original Schlage cylinders are $50, $60, $70 each, even the classic keyways. Depending on the locks that you have, that doesn't make any sense at all. Unless they're mortar cylinders. You could do mortar cylinders pretty inexpensively, but that doesn't sound very expensive. So the hope is that you have just a standard C Primus, and that your side millings are the standard garden variety, level 1. I say garden variety. The technical term is level 1. And the arrangement, the orientation, and the depth of the cuts in the side of the key define those finger pins, which define the if you look at the keyway holistically, not just the broaching and the cylinder plug, but you take that and you add onto it the milling on the side of the key blank. If that's that's the entire keyway, those side bit cuts, those side cuts, those side bit millings are really how they lock the system down. But they do have always made a level 1 where I stock level 1 Primus because it's not protected. It's no longer protected. It's no longer restricted. It's out of patent for many years. But you're not going to go to Home Depot and get that key cut. That's for sure.
No, I'll go to American Lock here in Seaside, California. They should be able to do it.
Well, they should be able to do it. So let me ask you this: why haven't you gone to American Lock?
Yeah.
No.
Yes,
why
I have.
Oh, okay. What did they say?
They looked at the key, the set of keys, and they said that they didn't have any blanks for them. And the first thing they said was, "You can't make a duplicate of this key. It's impossible to make a duplicate."
Sounds like you need a new lock guy.
Yeah.
So I'll be that lock guy. I'll send you that email. Send me a couple of good pictures of the key on both sides. I'll determine if it's level 1, and if it's not level 1, we can discuss. If it's level 1, I can get the key blanks. If it's not level 1, your choices are obviously nothing. Do nothing. Number 2 is you have a locksmith come and drop all the finger pins, because then you can just get a level 1 key blank. Number 3, replace all the cylinders with something else. So there are options. So hopefully in this regard you have level 1, because I stock the C, I stock the E, and beyond that I don't really see a lot of Primus key blanks. I may have a CE, I probably have a CE somewhere here, but the C and the E are the common Primus key blanks.
Right. And there are multiple keys. I mean, I have 5 keys with that kind of cut. Some of them open the back door. Some of them open the door between the garage.
Yeah, so when the system was originally set up, there was a deployment of key these alike, master key everything, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay. So, all right. Well, yeah, send me that email and let me see and then I'll take a picture and send it back to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Keys. Giving you a call back. Okay. I sent a picture of the keys yesterday.
Yeah, let's dive in and take a look at that real quick. I want to take a look at what we've got going here. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do. Okay, so let's look at your picture.
Right.
Here. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay. So I'm looking at your photograph, and so first of all, let's talk about what you have. You definitely, as you know, you have Primus. What you may not know is you have Everest 29 XP Primus. and that is the most current technology Schlage offers, and it's still patented until the end of the decade, basically. So the bottom line is, I believe the only way to do this is to contact that and these can't be 20 years old, because this key structure didn't exist 20 years ago. So
yeah, no, they're only about 3 or 4 years old.
That makes sense. Okay. So that first lock, 1ST lock, I'm thinking that's a locksmith that your clients bought the material from, and that L12409, that's a facility code. That absolutely ties records back to the person who bought the material originally. So without having access to the person, without having access, and without that party being voluntary in terms of participating with giving approval, there's no chance of getting key blanks. None. So having said that, what you could, and by all means, like in my website, under the Schlage page in my catalog, I have a link to the Primus service manual, and it goes over Everest 29 XP at length in terms of what it is. Now, you'll also notice on your picture, there is a S123 on there. Well, that turns out to be the keyway. So you've got Everest 29 XP, and I know that because of the key. And let's take a look. When we look at that, Everest 29. Okay. In the Everest manual, you can buy, obviously, S123 Primus keys. You've got those. But you can also buy S123 as a standard commercial keyway as well. So my logic is you can buy from me S123 blanks that are not protected. It's just the open family of S keyways is what Schlage calls it. And I'm quite sure that I have thousands of those blanks in stock. So if you were to buy the blanks and you were to go to your local locksmith, let's say, and have them rekey all of the cylinders or have them come out, what they would have to do, as I had mentioned previously, was to remove all the finger pins. If you demoted all of that to a non-fancy technology, you would at least be able to salvage all of the cylinders. You wouldn't have to buy all new cylinders. So now it's just key work is what you'd have to do.
Oh, okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, you either contact the original locksmith and you have the participation of the people who set the system up originally, then at that point, you theoretically can order key blanks. That'll be a factory order. That would be weeks anyway. Let's just say 4. Or you get all new cylinders that you had mentioned yesterday, or you get the key blanks and you have a locksmith dump all of what makes it so interesting in terms of a technology. You demote it to nothing special.
Right.
So I think all of that works. Potentially works. But I would be, if it was me, if you came in here, I would say, here's what you're going to want a locksmith to go there. And you're going to want to tell them, I need you to dump all the finger pins. And they should really know what that means. And if they don't, get me on the phone and I'll explain it. But if your client doesn't care about having that sort of control over the access to key blanks, you could do that. Or, on the other hand, if they do care about access to key blanks, then you've got to start over with a new secured system.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think I'm going to have a new system put in and let them pay for it.
Yeah. A new high security system?
No, just Not Primus, just a regular lock.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get it. That would certainly be less difficult overall. Yeah. But if you're going to go that route, you just need a guy to come out and dump those finger pins.
Okay.
So, 6.5 dozen, I suppose, the other. But that quote from yesterday, have them check their math. Just make sure of what they're doing. And if you want to send me pictures of all of your lock sets or something that's representative, I'd be happy to look at that as well.
Okay. That's great. I think let me talk to the owner, even though he's 89 years old. He's probably just going to want to say put regular locks back in.
Yeah.
They didn't part ways on good terms, if you know what I mean.
Two partners in the property, that sort of thing?
No, the lady came in and she did a lot of stuff to the house without talking to the owner. Created a lot of problems. She had a lot of money and she just did what the hell she wanted to do and never ever consulted the owner. Anyway, thanks for your help and understand the system more. And I think I know what I'm going to do. So if I have any other questions, I'll give you a call back, Richard.
I hope you do, sir. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, so let's just dive into this a little bit. I'm going to show you where I was going more deliberately. In our website, either manufacturers or click on an item by Schlage, then pull up their manufacturer's link. What's going to come up is, first of all, Cylinders and Key Blanks Quick Reference Guide. And I don't know how old this document is. It's not severely out of date at all. In fact, I would think that it's not new, though, because it has Ingersoll Rand here. That definitely is a little bit older. Yeah, so it's 10 years old, 2013. You can't see that date, but I can see it. So I'm saying to the client, well, you can buy the key blanks in the S123. Well, you can. S family open keyway. Same for conventional and Primus. So the client's got Primus. The client has Primus XP. So what happens in Primus is you've got the broaching in the cylinder. The cylinder plug is broached. The key is milled. An S123 blank will only fit in an S123 plug. That happens to be the stock keyway. No big deal. Doesn't matter if it's stock. Now, if the client were to order from me the S family open keyway S123, and the question becomes what is that part number? Well, it's right here. 35-270. Or no, 35, let's see, standard, oh yeah, 35-270. I'm going to sell you 35-270s. That's going to be the key blank. $35,270 S123. There's your blank. That's how you'll be able to order this. Okay, now, so 35-270 S123 gets you the key blanks. I can sell you one. I can sell you 1,001. Doesn't matter. Now, the next document we need is the Primus manual. And the most current one that I'm aware of is Primus Service Manual 2014. So let's pull up that manual, and if you deal in Primus at all, it would be very worth your while to just read this cover to cover. And
And you do that once or twice and you'll find that you'll kind of remember where the data is. I don't remember, as you could tell by my scrolling, I don't remember, what the year of patent, but I know it's mentioned in here. So they talk about this overview of Primus, terminology, classic, Everest. Okay, you'll note that the client's bow looks a little bit more like that. Looks a little bit more like that, but not quite exact. And there's a reason that I'm navigating here. Everest and Everest 29. Okay, that's Everest. We have Primus. Okay, Primus cylinders. Here we go. Finger pins. Beautiful. So what I had mentioned to the client a number of times is that they dump the finger pins. If you remove the sidebar springs, the finger pin springs, and the finger pins, this shear line is rendered ineffective. You'll have nothing. You're demoting the cylinder to a basic mid-19th century technology. And in fact, you're demoting it to Egyptian era technology. Literally. The Linus Yale Jr., who patented what we now consider the modern pin tumbler cylinder, took his inspiration from Egyptian technology 4,000 years ago. Literally. So you're demoting it to something that's positively the term I would want to use would be insecure, going from where the client was at yesterday and where you'll put him tomorrow if you were to remove all those finger pins. And then also, since we're here, take note of this cut. Take note of how that angle and that angle are different. Take note of this cut and that angle and that angle and this and this and this angle. Take note of all of that. Just remember that for a moment. And the reason that's important is those side bittings, this goes to the left, that goes to the center, that goes to the right, left, and right. Okay, remember that as well, if you will. We can skip through this, we can skip through that, we can skip through that. Okay, so this is going to be what the client's key will look like. It's an S123. It's got an Everest side on it. It doesn't matter because you've removed all the parts here. Now, reading keys. One with a trained eye would be able to look at this and make a very educated decision as to what finger pins are there based on the manufacturer's freely published information. So whether you use deep, shallow, or extra shallow, and left, center, and right pins determines whether or not when you insert the key blank into the plug, it will or will not work. So what I'm saying is, I had said earlier that the side bit millings and the finger pins conspire to make up the keyway just as much as the broaching in the cylinder. If you don't have these set to the right, left, center, right orientation and at the right height, if you had a Primus S123, a Primus XP S123 blank and you stuck it in there, it still wouldn't work, even though it will fit in the cylinder plug. Because your pins don't match the side bit milling, it will never work. So the factory can give you 4,096 theoretical changes on this technology here. That's a number that, accept it as 4,096. That's not an arbitrary number. That's a firm, hard number based on the cylinder technology. When you think about how you can left, right, center each of these places and then go shallow, extra shallow, and deep, or whatever the three were, you can come up with a substantial amount of additional combinations of this cut and this cut. And that's where the technology comes in. And this was patented in the late 1980s. The same person who patented this patented the ASA Twin. If you look that up, if you look at it, you'll say, ah, that's very similar. not identical, but they're quite similar. So these finger pins need to be oriented to the right height and at the right orientation. Otherwise, they won't nestle in the sidebar. If we dump all of the finger pins and the sidebar, you no longer have anything other than a typical cylinder. My argument is, since he's going to have the stuff rekeyed anyway, save all your cylinders, unless they're worn, and have your locksmith dump all those pins. Meaning you literally take the plug out of the cylinder housing, and you remove those parts. It'd be like taking pistons out of an engine. You just take the manifold off and you pull the pistons out, crankshaft and whatnot. The rest of this document goes on at length to talk about rights and privileges, different levels of this material. And I wanted to show you right here. This is the S family. Okay. That's the multiplex structure of the Everest 29 Primus and XB keyways. Different part numbers for cylinders are here. Cams. More cams, more cylinders, cylinders. Key blanks. And the last thing I wanted to show you is the depth and spacing data, but I know that I've gone past it. Here it is. Depth and spacing data. This is really important to know in terms of what the spacing is for the cuts and how the depths work, the root depths, and your other information that a locksmith would really need to know to combine these cylinders. So those are the options. Either get permission from these folks, because they likely own that keyway. And when I say they likely own that keyway, they likely own this side bit milling. Like, that is their side bit milling, period, end of sentence. And only they can order Primus blanks to any keyway, not just the S123. They can order it in any of these keyways, but that side bit milling is very likely just theirs. If that's not an option, all new cylinders, high security or standard security, Schlage C or Everest 29 or SL cylinders by Schlage. Those are really cool. Or dump all the pins and just combinate, start over. Do something that's easier to get your hands on. If it was me, I would dump all the pins, because you already have an S123 broaching, and getting those S123 blanks from your typical home improvement store is just not going to happen. So you're making it less convenient for someone to get a key blank. Getting this key blank is impossible. Getting S123 blanks just requires the person contacting someone who knows what they're talking about, a company like us. Any questions on any of this, please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.